that I got the push for it, it's like, okay, yeah, this works because I actually do what I want, write what I want, and not have no one force me to be someone I'm not. And that's the main thing that I was seeking for.
You see, I'm Southside reppin', yeah. Big foot steppin', Zone 3 section, this God flow perfection. Yeah. Hating on the church like I ain't blessed, they section. If we ain't talking money, I got a weak connection, that's on the hood. She said get a bag, so I get it, got it good. Don't complain about my problems, I just put it in a wood. Seen a genie the other day, she said, make it good. So I wish for good health, then I wish to look, it's chief, not lieutenant.
A lot of people are going to listen to me interview you for 3 hours.
Right, it makes sense because people still trying to get to know me.
Exactly.
They still trying to figure out who I am.
And I'm only using you as an example because you're right in front of me, but that's anybody, just about anybody here locally. I could think of maybe a handful of people that even I would want to watch an interview with for that long.
It makes sense though, sure.
All right, you ready to go? Let's go.
Yep.
Here we go. Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. Special guest in the building. We got Letrishbetrish. Did I say it right?
Said it.
I said it right?
Let Trish be Trish.
Let Trish be Trish.
Everybody saying weird.
Let me start right there. Well, it is because it is frenetically sometimes, especially like today's day and age, like ain't nobody can slow down and figure out what that says.
Yeah.
But I assume that the name I assume your name is Trish.
Mm-hmm. Well, Patricia.
Okay.
But growing up, go by Trish.
So it's just Let Trish be Trish, right?
A lot of people say Letrishbetrish, but it's like, no. It's Let Trish be Trish.
Yeah. So how'd you come up with the name? Is it just that simple?
Well,
Let you be
it was
you?
simple because, growing up, I always, had a battle of being bullied, picked on, judged. So I just came to the conclusion, just let me be me, I don't care about nobody's opinion. I'm going to just do what I want to do. So let Trish be Trish. That's just how I ride with it. So
Where did you grow up?
Here, South Minneapolis.
Southside?
Yeah, but originally from Augusta, Georgia, but
Okay. You've been here most of your life, though?
since I was 4. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Minnesota, it's what it is. So.
Is there any, do you have family in Georgia?
Yeah, dad's side, majority of his side down there. I got family in Mississippi too, but that's my mom. But as far as her, Minnesota.
So being in the entertainment industry, in the music business, and knowing that Atlanta is really the mecca for that right now.
Right.
Do you ever consider taking it down there, or?
I have. I actually got some little ventures out in the Augusta area and Atlanta.
Okay.
Mainly family members. They hook me on with different opportunities as far as networking and stuff. But I know soon I will be traveling to actually see what it's really about. So yeah, it's definitely opportunities down that I could just pick and choose from. But
yeah, it sounds like anybody that ever goes down there that at least has a little bit of an idea of what they're doing can find themselves in some spaces.
Yeah, because what stands out is the Augusta. It's kind of weird. People you from Georgia? What part? And it's when you say Augusta, they oh, I assume Atlanta. It's nah,
Isn't Augusta the capital?
I don't think so. It's just the country, really. It's just a small
I could have
city.
sworn I swear Augusta it's not the capital city of Georgia?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Is it Atlanta?
I was raised here, so I'm not sure, but I just know I was born in Richmond County. So
I'll let them fact check me, but I'm pretty sure Augusta is the capital city of Georgia. I think it is.
James Brown State. So.
Okay, so let's talk about. Let's get it. I want to get right into this because I think this is an important topic. You've been talking a lot lately about this deal with Sony Entertainment. So what? Can you give me a breakdown of? For one, how this happened, and two, what it entails, what it means.
Pretty much just networking. Putting my face out there. A lot of people was branching out to other people as far as A&Rs in Cali and I'll say Texas, just different places. And so it just came to the conclusion where someone hit me up and said, hey, I like your vibe. I got this deal. And that's just really how it really happened, honestly. Even when me being signed to Real Deal Entertainment and me ending that kind of put eyes on me. And then so that just kind of had people hitting me up hey, I like your vibe. Your music's dope. I could see you going here, here, here. And that's just how it happened. So
Okay. So somebody reached out to you from the label and said that we want
yep, A&R reached out and chopped it up about a distribution deal, and I like it. So I just ran with it, and it's been good since.
So what does a distro deal entail with Sony? Like, is it literally just you create,
pretty much
send it off to them, and then they help you, and then
Pretty
and then
much.
they take a percentage of whatever?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's like 85-15.
Okay.
But, pretty much I put my music out there. They help me market, promote, as well as videos, like being published on different blog sites, things like that. So it does give me an extra push than what I had before.
Yeah.
So it works out completely for me, because before I was literally just doing it from scratch. So
Right.
now that I got the push for it, it's like, okay, yeah, this works, because I actually do what I want, write what I want, and not have no one force me to be someone I'm not. And that's the main thing that I was seeking for before I even decided to get into it. So
Sure.
but yeah, that's pretty much the opportunity. So
So are there guidelines that you have to follow with a label like that? Like, do they tell you, like, here's the type of music we want you to make, or is it all up to you and then they just?
right now it's up to me.
Okay.
So it's through the Orchard, so it's not directly underneath Sony.
Yep.
So pretty much I write what I want. If they like it, they publish it.
Okay.
If it doesn't make sense, they'll send it back and say, hey,
This ain't it.
So
Gotcha.
it's pretty much that.
Okay.
And like my last new song that I just dropped, I'm a brag, they liked it.
Okay.
So, and we published it. Now we're working on dropping a video for it. So all the marketing is in place. So that's pretty much.
So are you
what it
seeing
is.
some fruits of this already?
Not yet. Not yet, but it's getting there. It's
Okay.
getting there.
Okay. Do you have, so this kind of just happened for you, it just happened organically. Like, this wasn't something you were out shopping around looking for.
Nah,
It just
I wasn't
came
looking
to
for
you.
it. It just came. And honestly, like when the whole thing happened as far as the old label, I think that kind of like pushed it. But a lot of people like, as far as my bluntness, my personality, the way I come off. And so that kind of just made it like all eyes on me. So
Yeah.
when it came, I honestly just took it as like, I'm not sure. Just because I didn't want to keep going through the same old bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
So, so
but
can you give me a little insight about your last deal, your last label?
so,
Was this this is a Minnesota based label, correct?
yeah.
Real
this
Deal
was,
Real Deal Records, right?
Real Deal ENT
Real Deal
Entertainment.
ENT. Okay.
I was probably signed with them for a few months, honestly. I was only able to drop one song. Other than that, it just ended sourly, but, I don't want to, like, throw no shade or whatever, because, I mean, they helped me push my I'm a Vibe, which was one of my hit songs. So kudos to them, but other than that, I just think it ended on just them not seeing what I actually had to offer. And of course, me dealing with personal issues, not gonna lie, back then I used to always like had this little panic attack, you know what I'm saying? But I learned to control that, and I learned to actually just put my foot forward. And I think that's what's actually working now, that's best for me now, and it actually showed way more, a huge difference now than what it was before, because I think before with them, it was more of what they wanted.
Yeah.
It wasn't really me being authentic in what I wanted to present. It was like, you have to be this way or no way. And it's like, I can't fake the funk. I can't pretend to be something I'm not. So it just didn't work out.
Were there other artists on this label?
There were.
Is the label still around?
I believe so. I haven't really been paying attention, but I think they are. I know I've been seeing a couple of shows, different artists, getting into it with them, but I haven't really been hearing, like, as far as, like, a...
I'm sure somebody's gonna hit me up like, you don't know. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cool. They actually reached out again, but I just decided to just.
Was this after
Keep it going.
the Orchard
Yeah,
situation?
yeah, yeah. It was after that, but again, I got a different headspace, and I know my lane,
Yeah.
and so it's like I can't really have room for nobody who don't know the lane and that can't recognize it. So
Was there even any thought process that went into the distribution deal, or were you just like,
the
go?
thought process for me, because honestly, I haven't been putting music out there like that.
Yeah.
And the main thing to me, like when the deal came, it was more like, we can help you push your music, we can help you get you out there. We want to help artists that, can't really balance things out. So at the time, I was in that place where I couldn't balance things out. So that's why I looked at it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, and it was just the greed, and then it was just like, we doing all this, and it's like, we're a team. I don't want to do tit for tat, like we're a team. We're supposed to come together, but it wasn't the vibe for me. So I just went separate ways.
So it was a pretty easy decision for you.
It was real easy.
Because the only reason I ask that is because, I have no idea whether or not you made the right decision or wrong decision, and you probably won't even know.
Right.
For a while still, you know what I mean? Like you've got a ways to go to find out. But the only reason I ask is because when I'm sure that labels like this, they probably reach out to a lot of artists. So that means like you're probably already a very small fish in a really large pond because they take those, that doesn't mean that you don't have something.
Right.
That means they saw something and they're like, okay, this could be huge for us. And you say 85-15 split, right? At 15%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
15%, it matters. So like, I know that labels are doing this. Distribution labels are doing this a lot. Where it's like, we're going to take on 500 artists that all have something that we like. And if just one of them works out and becomes the next Lil Baby,
right,
we're rich as fuck.
Right. And that's the thing too. It's like, I know now, like, I ain't gonna lie, with them, I think it was kind of like, kind of just it was weird because it seemed like I had what it takes, but then again I didn't. And it's like, I know I got what it takes, but they assumed I didn't. And it's like, I don't want to be signed to anyone who doesn't have faith in me. It's not gonna work.
Good luck with that, because you ain't gonna find. Because you're not probably gonna find a label,
right?
That's
true.
Gonna have faith in you. I mean, it's just the bare, like the facts. Like these are the facts. Labels don't really care.
Right. They just care about.
And you have to be an anomaly. Like we were just talking about this off the mic. Me and Chief were about like the chances. And I hate saying stuff like this because I feel like it sounds like I'm being like a downer. But it's like chances are, you ain't going to make it.
Right.
The odds are so heavily stacked against you. And I don't mean you. I just mean anybody that's in the industry. The chances, statistically speaking, the chances of you becoming a multimillionaire off of music are slim. Yeah. You got to find a way to stand out. Right. You know what I mean? Like you had to find a way to stand out. We were talking about Drake's run. You know how crazy that really, like people do not understand. He has been number one for a decade.
Drake is amazing.
How many artists have we seen come along in the industry that have been, okay, this is the next guy?
Slim.
Drake's still the guy.
Right.
We've seen even the guy that they're talking about right now, Lil Baby.
Right. Lil Baby.
We're waiting for Lil Baby to pass out Drake. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. It's crazy. The music industry is a very difficult industry to break through.
That's why with me, I just try to, like, be a different breed.
Yeah.
I'm a female artist. When you think of female artists, you automatically assume Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B.
Yep.
I don't want to be that. I want to be Trish. So I want to be I just want to be a different breed. I want to come off differently.
So what separates you from them?
It's the message.
Okay.
I feel like the message that I speak of is totally different.
Yeah.
Like I don't twerk. I don't shake my booty. I don't really do a lot of those things. I can if I want to, but I don't. That's just me.
What if that's what's required?
If it's required, then hey, when I sign that contract, I do what I got to do.
Yeah.
It's business.
Yeah.
But just me solo, it is what it is. That's just me. But when it comes down to business, like we just said, got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
I can't sign a contract and not go with it. That's like working a job and you're not doing the job requirement. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I feel like I do feel like women in hip hop right now are really like it. Women in hip hop are, I think, stronger than maybe ever before, right now. Like women are really
Yeah.
dominating hip hop.
Yeah.
Like really, like it's been like, at least throughout my lifetime, it's pretty much always been like there's room for one, maybe two. You know what I mean? It was
Lil'
like,
Kim.
and usually those two, they get pitted against each other. You know what I mean? We even saw it with, like Nicki and Cardi.
Right.
Like they got pitted against each other. And then even like, was it Cardi and Meg, or Cardi and Meg pitted against each other at some point too? I mean, Nicki's
really
been pitted against
Yeah, she been-
everybody that's
She-
come along.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
She's like the queen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. Well, I think she's bold statement.
I can't
I think
knock her.
I don't think it's even close in my opinion, and I don't even like separating the men from the women. But if we are separating, I don't think there's ever been I don't think there was, maybe ever will be a better woman rapper than Nicki Minaj.
yeah, I don't know.
I think she's the GOAT, and I think it's
Hopefully
hands
me.
down.
No, okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, maybe.
But you know what though? I give credit when it's due. I
Yeah.
love Nicki Minaj. I just like her tone, her delivery. Might not be the certain messages, but I just like her vibe.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
she
I mean,
just comes off very like direct. And
Nicki
that's
is
the
Nick.
type of person
Nicki is
I
Nicki,
am.
and
Yeah.
we let Nicki be Nicki, right?
Yep. And let Nicki be Nicki.
Right? I mean, she's never changed up. She's been Nicki her whole career.
Right,
Never-
and that's the thing. Like, don't change.
Yeah.
Be your do you. You know, regardless if you gotta dib and dab into certain things that you're not used to. That's just what it is. Like again, if I have to dib and dab into certain things I'm not used to, I'm willing to do it because I'm a risk taker. Like
Yeah.
that's just me. So, salute.
For sure. I mean, it does seem like you almost do have to. And here's, you know what? This is an interesting thing that I was actually just thinking about. There's a lot of not a lot, but you hear complaining about how the only way for a woman to make it in hip hop is by over sexualizing herself. Men too. Like men got to do that shit too. Not got to, but men do.
Yeah,
Most rappers are doing the same thing. Like, no, they're not twerking.
is vocally.
But of course, yes. So, I mean, it's just a difference in men's sexuality versus women's sexuality. But they both got to come out in the music.
It just depends on how you move with it.
Yeah.
Like, don't move sloppy.
Right. But I mean, I don't see a difference in for instance, if Pac never came out on stage shirtless all the time, what's the difference between that and Meg having to come out in some booty shorts and shaking ass? Like, it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's like the same thing. It's just the men's version versus the women's version.
'Cause I feel like a lot of people think when the women do it, it's easily influenced.
Mm.
And I don't know if it's because this culture is just over sexualized, but that could be. But
I
it's
don't
like,
think it's the culture. I think it's the world.
yeah, like everything is just so sexualized
Yeah.
nowadays. But it's like, since it's sexualized, just learn how to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think it's nothing wrong with wanting to be who you are, doing what you want to do. Just know yourself and know how to do it within yourself. Don't
Yeah.
be someone else. Don't try to do
Facts.
anything that no one else is doing because it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
That's just my
if you're gonna
opinion.
if you're gonna put your sexuality in your art and your entertainment, then make sure it's your sexuality.
Yeah, cause like I got a couple of songs I done wrote about me being sexual, but it's not like he's gonna fuck me.
Right.
It's more just like this the vibe. I like you. This I like how you look.
It's your
That's
your sexuality.
yeah.
It's not, you're not doing what Meg does. You're not doing what Nicki does. You're not doing
Yep.
yeah. I think that is important because we've definitely seen some people maybe get a little out of body, a little out of pocket.
Right.
That like, you're not really like that.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think no one really is
Yeah.
like what they
Probably
say.
not.
Maybe, I don't know. It all depends on what you rap about.
We'll find out when the sex tapes come out.
Right.
'Cause we don't, but we've seen that too, where somebody talks crazy on a record and then their tape comes out and you're like,
Oh,
you're
ooh.
dry. That's wet. That's nasty. What is this? This is a terrible
Yeah.
tape. Like, you know what I mean? It happens all the time. We
Even
see
when
it.
that do happen, just take accountability, man. You
Yeah.
know? Don't play victim. Please don't play
For
victim.
sure. So let's talk a little bit about the music scene here in Minnesota, and like from your point of view, what do you think the ups are, the downs? Like where are we at here?
I feel like the ups is the fact that we have so many platforms, a variety of different things that we can get into as far as us being artists. It is like there's no way an artist could sit here and say that there's no opportunity, no leeway, or just no alleyway to even get things done, because there's so many different studios, so many different podcasts, so many different like just outlets in general that you could really get into to branch yourself out. So that right there is a up. I feel like the down is that artists in general put themselves in a bucket. That's the only thing to me. I don't really see anything as like what's not working and what is working, because
That was good.
I mean,
Because
it's up to
there's
us.
been a heavy conversation about the crabs in a bucket mentality. But one thing that I have never heard anybody say until right now is artists put themselves in that bucket.
Yeah,
And
like
you're right.
look, my first 2-3 years I was in that bucket.
Yeah.
And that's because it wasn't me physically putting myself in there. It was just because I wasn't looking at the different outlets. I wasn't paying attention to like different opportunities that I could have put myself in. And artists tend to judge opportunities, and then they choose to turn them down, or they feel like maybe their pride is too high. But it's like, no, when you put yourself, people like artists put themselves in that bucket in general just because they're very picky. And it's like, when you're an upcoming artist, I don't think you can be so picky.
That's a good point.
Because it's like, you gotta do anything and everything honestly to try to get your name out there.
Yeah.
So like, to be picky it's not gonna work. I'll see if you're on. Of course you could be picky, you could charge, you could do all this, but when you still an upcoming artist, you can't be picky, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do. Like, you gotta fall into the line that fits you, and that's just simply it. That's it. If you don't know yourself as an artist, of course it's gonna be hard for you to pick the lane that you're in, because you don't even know it. You don't even know it yourself. You don't even know what you bring to the table. So
Yeah.
when you find that out, it's gonna be easy. Like, that's just my opinion.
That's pretty wise, actually. What you're saying is wise. I think you're right about that. Like, there is too much. This is what a lot of people refer to as like the Hollywood. Like, I'm too good for that. Like, but you're right. You're all in the same boat. And even you, coming from you, someone that you have a distribution deal. It might not mean a lot yet,
Yeah.
but it means something.
It does.
It means something. It means that you have the backing of an agency. There's a company out there that if you do the right things, they're going to get you in the right places, right? So, I mean,
Right.
yeah, turning down opportunities. I mean, I'm not saying you should accept every opportunity or do every performance or just continuously do Red Sea shows every week. But yeah, like, there are artists out here that are pricing themselves out of what they really, truly eventually want,
Right.
which is stardom, right? Like, you want to be a big dog. You want to be able to tell the Target Center, like, 500K ain't going to work for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work for me. This show is not worth that to me. I got other opportunities, other things. But there are artists out here that are literally pricing themselves out of opportunities.
And it's weird.
In the name of pride, I guess. Or maybe, I mean, I think some of it is probably frustration.
It could be pride. It could be worth. I mean, I done had plenty of times I done felt like I'm worth this. But then again, when you look at the book, it's like, band equity only about 600. I needed to get up there, you know? So paying attention to all that is like, yeah, I could put a price on something. But say, for instance, a show at Red Sea do pop up, and it might be beneficial for me.
Yeah.
And I know it's beneficial because the type of artist that I am, I'm going to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
Don't matter where it's at. I just know that this show is beneficial for me. I don't know about you. But me as my brand is beneficial. And I feel like if artists just go by that, it wouldn't be no complaining.
Yeah.
Don't judge every opportunity. Just look at it, view it. If it's beneficial, ride with it. If it's not, move on.
Yeah, I think another thing too that I've very recently learned is like there's a lot of misunderstanding between all of the elements in the industry, right? So like the artists that I sit down with, they don't understand what it takes to do this. There's no understanding of what it takes to put on a production like this. There's no understanding of what it takes, all the behind the scenes, all the hours, all the manpower. Like there's just a lack of understanding. And it's the same thing with like, and I think this is what happens maybe sometimes with artists, where artists decide, okay, well, I need to get paid $500 to perform at this event. And it's like, okay, so for one, you're allowed to charge whatever you want to charge, right? If somebody's going to pay it, great.
Right.
But you probably are pricing yourself out of a lot of performances, potentially really big performances, by your price point. Because if I'm paying you $500 to perform at, Loud on Lake Street, how am I getting that back? Right. How am I recouping that? Because if this is a business decision, then that's cool. Show me how you make how I make that $500 back. And even then, remember, that's still just me breaking even. So you're getting $500 profit. Now let's say you're an artist that I pay $500 to perform, and you can show me that we made $500 in ticket sales off of you being there, right?
Right.
That's fucking great. But we're still just breaking even. We're not profiting.
Yep.
There's no profit for us in that. That's still a break even. Now that doesn't mean I wouldn't do it. It doesn't mean that wouldn't be the right move for both of us. But remember how much this whole thing costs. The overhead costs. So I think there's frustration with artists sometimes too, where it's like they see all these people coming through the door, right? Handing over that cash, punching them tickets, right? And in their mind, it's, y'all are making a whole fuck ton of money off of us being here. And it's like, you don't know how much money we're making. We might not be making much at all because the overhead cost to put this whole event on, we still got to get that back before we start getting into the green. And we're in the red. Right. We got to get to the green and hopefully to the black. Now, once we're all in the black, we can all be in the black, right? But as of right now, we're in the red. How are we recouping this? How are we all, you know what I mean? So I think there's frustration. I think artists see they're a part of a successful show. They maybe didn't get paid to do the performance. And they're thinking, man, these guys over here are just making money off our backs. And it's like, that's not the case.
Way. I used to complain. Remember, I used to be that crab in that bucket. I used to be upset at the door. And it's like, I had to think about it. Why am I mad at the door when I should be mad at myself?
Right.
Because I'm not building my fan base.
And the person.
I have to build my fan base.
Exactly.
If people see you on a ballot and they like your music, they're gonna show up.
Yeah.
If they know who you are, they're gonna show up. If you promote yourself properly, they're gonna show up.
Yeah.
But you can't get mad at the door, because when people walk in through the door, half of those people probably don't even know you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
And
hopefully they'll come back for the next one, right?
Right. I done had shows where I done had people approach me saying, what's your name? I want to follow you. I like your music. And then I also had shows where people knew my music and they came to see me. So that's really all it is. Like, just know your fan base. If you want your fans to come see you, do the work. The same way podcasts do the work. When they set up everything, they got everything rolling. It's on us too to get everything rolling, because like you said, you want to make a profit. 500, that's not a profit. I'll see if it's 500, 2,000, 3,000. Yeah. But that's what we supposed to be bringing if you guys are asking us, or you guys are giving us the opportunity. So that right there is the frustration that artists get frustrated at. Yeah. But they get frustrated at the wrong thing instead of themselves. Right. So
Exactly. So yeah, there's just a lot of misunderstanding. People don't understand each other's industries.
Until you
and
take
what we
accountability.
Yeah.
Be in that bucket.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
I'm glad I'm not in that bucket no more.
Yeah, stay out of the bucket.
Man,
that's not a good place to be. So we got to wrap, but before we wrap, tell me what do we have going forward? What do we have to look forward to from you?
We got a lot coming forward. I'm working on a whole new mixtape, or a deluxe mixtape, and a volume 2 to the first one. Okay. Also got another single coming out called Steady Living. Okay. So make sure y'all tune into that. And I got a podcast that I'm working on called Weekly Rant.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yep. Because I'm always ranting, I guess, on Facebook. So y'all going to definitely tune into that. And a new video called I'm going to brag to my new song. So I'm working on that as well. So
Okay.
a lot of things coming, y'all. So
Okay. Dope.
tune in.
I'm going to be tuned in. This was a good conversation. I'm glad we could do
Definitely.
this. Where can they find, if they want to keep up with you and find all that stuff and make sure they know when it all comes out, where can they find you?
Everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I be on Clubhouse, too. So if you like to debate, join Clubhouse.
Clubhouse still a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Well, I that's how I network, too.
Okay.
Clubhouse. So all platforms. So,
Okay.
yep,
And it's
definitely
all
follow
Let
me.
Trish be Trish.
Yep.
Break it down
Let
for
Trish
him.
be Trish.
Yeah.
LeTrishBetrish.
Perfect. So if you don't understand it, it's all one word.
All
Let
one.
Trish be Trish.
Right.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. This is a good conversation. I'm glad we could do it. And I wish you the best of luck. I'm going to be watching.
Yes.
That's it.
Salute.
Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. I'm Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1.
Damn, Woody. In high school, I let it blam, Woody. I wasn't playing, Woody. I'm coming straight out the south. Hey, genius, best watch your mouth. When I put up on P&B, right, that ain't he come out. You moving ounces, I just moved 100 things in a drought. You want the south side, outside the fence of your house. You talking all that, then wanna come talk it out. If you ain't talking money, you talking